So yesterday, the Ragnarok Origin Global team decided to hold a Hearthfire Tales event, a thematically Ragnarok appropriate version of an Ask Me Anything thread with mini events in between to keep people engaged, which is smart. And it started off with a quick introduction from Villager A, someone who is a part of the Origin team. And it was basically a way to break down the invisible wall between the players and the developers. First question being answered was regarding the final date for OBT. They answered with the day will come sooner than most of you expect. By expect, one would assume that it's the current tentative date of April 6th, and by saying sooner, it makes you think that it's gonna start on the 1st of April, which could be an April Fool's joke, but we'll see. Then came a very concerning answer to the question of how many servers on the first day of OBT, to which they answered due to the demand, they're expecting 100 servers, 100, which at the time they had 3 million pre-registers. So one would expect 30,000 people per server. Now, this raises a few concerns, the biggest one of them being servers getting full and locked before entire guilds can get their whole squad in. We've seen this happen before in games like New World, and we all know how much of a disaster that was. People quitting in droves because they couldn't play with their friends, and while a mega server is not viable for a game like New World, it is very viable for Ragnarok Origin. The only concern being events like War of Imperium, but that can be remedied by opening more castles like Payon and maybe the Aldebaran castles as well, because honestly, we can probably expect a lot of intro boys to quit in the first month or first few weeks. And then we found out that the first 2-2 class is being released in May, only 1 month after the expected launch. They had put out a survey on Discord for this as to which class has the highest demand, so vote on that if you haven't yet. They also touched upon concerns regarding endgame experience with class balancing, which is always good to hear. Next up, they mentioned having different sea region inspired events, which has always been prominent since the first Ragnarok game, which is something that's really good to hear. It also seems that the UI of the PC client is something that they're paying attention to, and hopefully we have more customization on that in the future. And then really big news, 300% drop rate increase event incoming, and talks of expanding the big rewards to the top 10 teams instead of just the top 1, which is really good for free-to-play players when it comes to MVPing. So thank you, free-to-play gods, you guys do exist. And next one, I have to give them credit here. They do respond quite fast and professionally to customer queries, and of course talks of holding on-ground tournaments constantly. This one I can definitely see, since Ragnarok has always been huge in Southeast Asia, and this is something that has been done before. And even bigger news, albeit something some of us already saw coming, they also confirmed their jobs like Rune Knight, so maybe Night lovers finally have a chance. The faithful shall be rewarded. And we already see preparation for this NNA. As you can see on the screen, there are already slots for the third jobs. And then talks regarding data analytics like class population, win-loss ratios, match history, so there might be hope for you Forsaken Knight players. And maybe Sniper will finally get some better HP scaling so they don't get gapped in the late game so hard, maybe, hopefully. And can I get a girlfriend in Rue? I found my girlfriend in Rue, so I mean, Ragnarok has always been low-key a dating game. Come find the love of your life, or find out they were never a woman to begin with. But for those who are lucky, obviously the people who met their spouse in RO1 and are happily married to this day, some of them being in Dynasty, some all over the world. And then guild versus guild tournaments with cash prizes. I hope these are balanced PvP matches, or else it's just going to be a case of the rich getting richer. That's not what majority of the population probably wants to see. And of course, more payment methods in OBT to fix the payment issues Western players have been having. This is really good because a lot of Western players have not even had access to VIP and all the other goodies that require an actual payment instead of just getting the neon purchases that they've made so far. And will there be country-specific costumes? They said yes, there will be specific costumes, many of them. Country-specific costumes, that would be lovely to see, seeing as RO already incorporates supports a lot of C culture in their RO1 updates, it would be amazing to see in Origin. Here, more justification for the amount of servers. Can't blame them for preparing. I still think we should have a mega server with lots of channels though, but that's just me. Or maybe just have cross server WoW. That would be a very good solution. And this one is just like probably more social events, really, more than anything. And suggestion box is always good. Let's just hope they listen to it more than the NA version had. And I think my personal opinion, suggestion boxes, I think it's there for people who are asking for it. I've never really seen it get executed correctly. I mean, we'll see. They've been doing a good job so far, so give them the benefit of the doubt. And then somebody asked, is there a chance where guild to guild events will take into a national tournament for all regions to gather up? Now this one is really good. It's giving off Ragnarok World Championship vibes, and they confirmed that they will be having said tournaments. And Villager A said, yes, grand cross-national tournaments will be there. With esports being more profitable now than how it used to be back in the RO1 days, I can actually see this being huge, and I can't wait to see what they have planned. Ragnarok is huge in Southeast Asia. I can see this being incredibly profitable for the company and really good and healthy for the game, seeing as there will be lots of competition and in turn healthier, bigger population. And more OBT gift code events, good for free-to-play players. Somebody started a rumor that the OBT will be delayed, and of course they squashed that rumor instantly. Bug fixing goes smoothly. I cannot tell you the exact date now, but we can confirm that OBT will not be delayed, along with the statement that they made before that it will come sooner than we expect. This is really good news. And again, more talks about balanced PvP modes, the same way they used to have it in Ragnarok tournaments, where you're given your pick of predetermined and equalized equipment. Would love to hear more about this one. I definitely, if I could pick their brain on what thought process on this, on what their vision on this is, it would be something amazing. And finally, the closing statement, citing probably the most immediate concerns that they can address the soonest: the server numbers, Nyan Berry jar rules, which have been their first biggest criticism thus far, and class balancing, and the future of development of Rue, which hopefully means that we'll get an actual roadmap, something that we've never gotten in the previous iterations of Ragnarok Origin, like in NA. And that's all for today, guys. Catch you in the next video. Peace.